Dear Santa, this Christmas I want a smaller forehead. No, I've not been good enough this year to ask him to tackle an issue that big. Think smaller, think smaller. I want $23. No, too specific. How about I want 100 million subscribers? No, if I had that, I'd turn into a sellout. I've got at least a few more good videos in me before I take a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship. Think, something easy. Wait, I've got it. Haha, I've got it.
Pretty good. Hello?
All right, here you go.
Gee, thanks. I didn't even order a pizza.
Ah, pizza. You know, I remember back when every day after work I'd get home, pie in hand, and immediately check my subscription feed. At least that was until the coal mine collapsed. Oh, and also my feed got too cluttered to be usable.
Oh, aren't you forgetting something?
Did I leave the curling iron on?
No, the tip.
Yes, a tip. That's exactly what I need. A true working man's advice. You gotta help me. I still don't know what to ask Santa for Christmas. And Christmas is 2 weeks ago.
Listen here, I work hard every day for people like you, slaving away, putting my blood, sweat, and Prozac medication into your crummy pizzas. Making sure I count every pepperoni because heaven forbid I put even one extra or lose my job. And you know what makes it all worth it? Not the women. You know how hard dating is when you come home smelling like aged Parmesan and Italian deli meat? What makes it worth it is the cold, hard, tax-free cash you wanna-be homebodies and Italians give me. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. You follow?
I follow completely. You're saying I need to take responsibility for my predicament and give Santa a break. Handle my own problems. I know what I'm asking for now. I'm asking to reclaim my YouTube subscription feed. Long gone will the days be of channels I don't even remember subscribing to cluttering my feed. And the best part is, Santa won't even have to lift a single one of his old decrepit fingers. I'm giving you a break this year, Kris Kringle. Thank you so much. You've given me exactly the tip I needed.
He still has my hat.
Someone I don't remember, someone I don't remember, someone I don't remember. How am I ever going to unsubscribe from all these when there's so many to go through? Wait, there's someone I remember.
Ah, Jacksfilms. Few channels have been around longer or have left as big of an impact. No matter what era of YouTube you look at, Jack's always been there, forehead looming in the shadows. You truly gotta commend the adaptability. No matter what algorithm change, viewership alignment, or monetization adjustment, Jack's always found a way to stick around. It's wild to think the same guy making videos with Smosh 10 years ago would also be making a video with Smosh 10 years later. Okay, I guess the more things change, the more things stay the same. Regardless, to review his entire channel would mean having to acknowledge the many different eras of his content. From skits, to long-running daily series, to crossovers, to skits again. Oh, and crossovers. Yeah, okay, I guess things don't really ever change. But thankfully, I don't need to sum up the history of Jacksfilms because this isn't a review. This is simply deciding if it's worth staying subscribed or not, which means taking a look at his most recent content.
Here's the deal.
Wait, hold on. Wait, this doesn't seem familiar. Wait a minute. Where's the Yai? Okay, so perhaps understanding the different eras is important. Maybe it'll help me remember why I subscribed in the first place. Which of course takes me all the way back to a little video called...
Previously on Dexter. Tonight's the night. The night when I perform my most sacred ritual. Fulfill my primal urge.
Yeah, no, I'd never actually watched Yai. Or Your Grammar Sucks. Or any of the main Jacksfilms series. I subscribed entirely due to this video.
Why? You going on a hunting trip?
You could say that. A deadly hunting trip.
What are you doing?
What?
It looks like you're making a bad pun in your head.
No, just thinking of myself. Deadly thoughts.
And you're doing it again. What the f***?
I'd simply been binging Dexter, and this parody video got recommended to me. I knew of Yai and his other famous series, and I certainly recognized him, but I never really watched. But this being a time in which his main series were still going on in full capacity, and him being a super popular YouTuber, I decided to sub. I'm sure I'd start binging him soon. Start binging him any day now. Any day now. Yep. Any day. Yeah, I never really binged him like I intended. It's not that I didn't like the content, the stars just never quite aligned. He never really got recommended to me despite subscribing, and every time he was, I just didn't click. But okay, that's not a good reason to just unsubscribe. He's not even gotten a proper chance from me. So then fine, let me once again go back to his latest content.
Here's the deal. If your
10-second long video can make me laugh, I'll pay you
$200.
This is not a joke. These are
Real
transactions.
But if your video doesn't...
Ah, I see the problem. You see, Jacksfilms has entered a state I like to call YouTuber retirement. Not meaning he doesn't upload anymore, he certainly does, but the grind is over. He's certainly not unique for doing this. Trust me, we'll see this sort of thing again later. And if anything, it's shocking it didn't happen sooner. You make over 600 episodes and tell me you aren't a little burnt out too, and that's just one series he did. What his content mostly consists of now, on his main channel at least, is stream highlights compiled together to form a video on one topic, uploaded quite infrequently, and some 1 to 5 minute sketches akin to early YouTube. And that's perfectly fine. He clearly enjoys making this arguably easier content, as well as just uploading less than he used to. It's also worth noting he uploads far more frequently to his secondary channel, where Yai actually still continues. I've never really understood why some YouTubers do this. Perhaps it's some theory about the algorithm, or perhaps it's just to relive what it's like to build a channel from the beginning. Though honestly, my best bet is that it's simply for artistic reasons. Trust me, if there's anyone who understands the desire to curate one's channel to only be the best they can make, it's me, and my 100 plus unlisted videos. Though, admittedly, this idea of making your main channel the spot for big events only is kind of diminished when you upload 20-second skits.
Today, we're checking out Apple's new AI features while doing 95 in a school zone. Bye. I need to apologize.
But fine, neither of those are necessarily deal breakers. Uploading less often is fine. Sometimes I even prefer it, and easier content isn't necessarily worse. Though, where the problems start to shine is what's inside the content.
Don't worry, I'm not looking. Try it out today. I don't know about you.
These videos are very personality focused, but in a way that attracts older viewers. That's not a bad thing. Clearly lots of people enjoy this stuff, but it's sort of the equivalent of watching season 9 of The Office. Like, yeah, there's still enjoyment to be had here, but it's undeniable there's notable features now missing. And altogether, it's not really attracting too many new viewers. I'm sure all these in-jokes and interaction with Stream Shed is super rewarding for longtime viewers, but for someone just now trying to get in, it sort of makes it feel like Tony Soprano. Like, you came in at the end, the best is over. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And that's fine, things don't have to last forever. Jack seems happy, his diehard viewers seem happy, nothing for me to be upset about. But there's also just nothing for me to watch here. And that's not for a lack of trying. I've tried watching his new content, and I like it, but I don't love it. for the reasons mentioned before, but also simply because I just prefer this type of simpler content from other channels, people I myself have been watching for years and am invested in. Jack seems like a great person, but at the end of the day, this is content super based on personality, and I just never really got attached to him in that way. The train left already, and I missed it. It's too bad. So, with all that said, I suppose it's finally time to let bygones be bygones. Nothing personal.
Well, that was disappointing.
Hello! Have you heard the good news?
The IRS called and they don't want their money back?
What? But no! I'm talking about fairy tale scenarios here. I'm talking about Santa Claus.
Oh.
How would you like to join the Church of Santa? I'll get you in for half the normal rate.
How much is that?
$23.
Drat! I knew I should have asked for that oddly specific number. Oh, well, have a nice day.
Wait. You don't even want to hear about Santa Claus? You don't want to hear about all the things I do with him every year?
No, I decided to give Santa Claus a break this year. It's cool you know him, though. Tell him I'm still waiting for Mrs. Claus to call me back.
Wait! You're saying you believe in Santa Claus? You believe him too? You believe that I know him?
Of course I do. All the famous Christmas movies tell me to. Like It's a Wonderful Life and Home Alone 2.
Oh, thank goodness! What a relief it is to find a fellow Santa Clauser! You have no idea how many caroler groups kicked me out of their roster before I could tell them all about it! I mean, since when was it a crime to steal purses? Where's their Christmas spirit? There's some pretty good hot chocolate. It's a shame this machine's stuck in the overly watered down setting, though. Anyways, you're telling me you've met Big Chungus? And that when you did, he sent you to a completely different dimension from yours?
Yeah. Oh, look at the time. I'll finish that movie another time.
Cinemmassacre. You remember I went on and on about how old of a channel Jacksfilms is? Well, here's one even older. Older than YouTube itself, in fact. For almost a year before YouTube was even conceived, James Rolfe had been creating his own series, by which name you may find more recognizable, The Angry Video Game Nerd.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass.
Though the comparisons with Jacksfilms don't quite end there. See, I praise Jack for his bold talent of adaptability, always managing to find himself an ample squeeze no matter what state the platform was in. For James Rolfe, or Mr. Cinemmassacre, or AVGN, or whatever other name you want to call him, he has impressively managed to do the opposite. With the same web series he started in film school before the platform was even founded, going on to this day, with Angry Video Game Nerd being, at time of recording, at episode 221, and recently celebrating its 20th anniversary. For reference, this show is only 5 years younger than SpongeBob. And funny enough, their episode output has been roughly the same over time. And throughout all this, the format of the show has stayed mostly the same. James, portraying his character the Angry Video Game Nerd, discusses video games, often inserting skits and comedy bits.
Holy shit! It's Spider-Man!
It's a classic format that spawned a whole host of shameless clones, all of which I could never relate to. Now, this is covering the entire Cinemmassacre channel, not just AVGN, though it's hard not to focus on that series, as it's remained, for all this time, the golden goose of Cinemmassacre. Other series have come and gone, but AVGN always stays, consistently uploading new episode after new episode. Now, I loved this show when I was a kid, though admittedly I watched a rival of his a bit more. For another day, Doug. For another day. Now, in the process of making this video, I was excited to rewatch my old favorites, like the Friday the 13th review, Ninja Gaiden, Atari 5200, all in their beautiful 2006 standard definition glory. And in doing such, I was happy to find that I truly do still find these entertaining. Maybe not as much as when I was 13, but these genuinely do have a charm unlike anything else. There's the clear passion of a young filmmaker behind the craft, and I've always respected that. I genuinely believe there was nothing higher quality than this on YouTube back in the day. So then, if the old episodes still hold up, how are the new ones? Well, let's see now. Got a pretty similar set, that's nostalgic. Wait, did I just call a show about reviewing nostalgia nostalgic? That's sort of a commentary on society I don't quite have time to elaborate on, but anyways, oh, here's the old button down, and oh, the beer, and vulgar jokes, and cheesy effects, and wait a minute, something's missing. Yeah, he forgot something. Wait, where's the charm? This is hard to quantify, admittedly. I think part of it is genuinely the camera. There's just something infinitely fun about seeing a 20-year-old in front of a mini VHS camera filming stupid sketches. And genuinely, a lot of that is lost when you watch this in 4K high definition, with every single seam, line, and wrinkle visible. It's like how old horror movies often look worse in high definition, because now you can really realize all the cheap effects. And sure, it's not like we didn't know this looked awful back then, but it was charming, like a B-movie. Now, admittedly, a part of this probably is just my own nostalgia, and me potentially growing out of this content, but also there's just something lost seeing a 40-year-old in crystal clear resolution doing the same thing. But I think that brings up the other point, James's age. I'm sorry, but perhaps I just expect more now considering his age and time spent doing the show. I hate to sound mean because I really do respect this guy and looked up to him since I was a kid, but maybe that's why I'm inclined to sound a bit mean. I mean, this is the guy who's always made clear he's a filmmaker, not a YouTuber at heart. And as someone with similar, though more divided feelings, I've always looked up to James and this generation of film student YouTubers in general. I mean, it probably sounds ridiculous now, and it is, but when I was a kid, I truly thought these people were going to be the ones running the industry by now. I thought that by the time I was James's age in those videos, James would be making Hollywood films and really be fulfilling his true passions. But now here I am, and here James is, still doing the same thing. And I admit, that's a ridiculous expectation of a naive child, and part of me says, you rock, James, keep doing what makes you happy. Who am I to judge? And ultimately, I suppose that is the truth. It's not my career, it's not my channel, it's not my life. If James is happy to still be a YouTuber after all this time, more power to him. Sometimes a golden goose is meant to stay alive, I suppose. But then there's another side of me. Perhaps the naive child still inside of me that's just disappointed. Yes, it's not my life, not my channel, not my show. But is it so wrong to hold on to hope for someone? Someone I truly did see passion in, and if I'm being honest, still do? I have a strong distaste for parasocial relationships in the manner which sometimes develop on this website, and I don't want to speculate on James's happiness or resolve, or even the reasons to keep the show going. Frankly, it's not mine or anyone else's business but James. But I will say this. Just as behind this 20-year-old there still exists a naive child who dreams to be a filmmaker, I believe that behind James there still exists a 20-year-old with similar passions. But fine, that's a long way to say I don't like his show anymore. Big deal.
This game sucks.
I guess this decision is easy then. But wait, this is the whole channel after all, and I need to be open to his other projects. His main series, currently other than AVGN, is Neighbor Nerds, where James and his friend John play games together. It's as simple as it sounds, and there's some charm. It's nothing new, there's a million shows just like it, but if you like James's real personality outside of his characters, which I do, then you'll probably get some enjoyment. And his co-host is less wooden than I honestly expected. Show's helped by their pretty genuine seeming bond. These seem like they're probably a blast to film. And even though it is easy comfort content of the utmost degree, I can't hate on it. Not quite what I tend to watch on YouTube, but it's perfectly fine for what it is. The only other main show still going in any consistent fashion is Monster Madness, a true classic seasonal series and one I'm actually still quite fond of. This is a marathon James does every October where he reviews a massive amount of horror media, something he's clearly quite passionate about. Back in the day, he'd upload pretty much one review a day for the entire month, though now it's slowed down to pretty much one a week for the whole month, which I think is a wise decision. You see, not every episode is a winner. It really just depends on how passionate James is about what he's reviewing. Interestingly enough, for someone who's made famous by popularizing the angry review, I think I actually prefer when James reviews something he loves. Perhaps that's just the nature of watching a real person as opposed to a character, but genuinely, when this guy's passionate about something, it's contagious. And you can really tell he has a great love for horror. I particularly love all his reviews of Golden and Silver Age horror, as it's just so clear how much he loves the old Universal horror movies that basically started it all, as well as all the other classics and even hidden gems. These videos are a joy to watch when they're good, and cutting down the amount of them each October I think helps limit the reviews to mostly stuff that actually makes for a good video. Beyond the two main series, and of course the seasonal, it's really just occasional sporadic uploads you can count on. These are normally film reviews, but can vary. These are honestly, for me at least, the bread and butter I come here for. I do enjoy hearing James talk about his passions, as I already went over with Monster Madness, and if James is passionate enough about a subject to make a video outside of the normal series, then it'll probably be pretty good. This stuff right here is what reminds me why I've remained subscribed. It's also worth mentioning that years ago, James had a whole staff and crew which helped him create numerous other series with him. Though, honestly, I don't really miss these videos. Nothing against any of these guys, I just never really watched these videos for them, and I don't think anyone really did. Cinemmassacre is James's child, and it has been helped by some familiar faces over the years for sure, but ultimately, bringing outside help to that degree was a noble effort, but not one that I particularly miss. I suppose that may sound hypocritical, as I just went on a whole spiel about how I expected more from James, and then now in retrospect I mention how I don't really care about the series where he tried to do something new, and I suppose there is some irony there, but to be clear, my disappointment isn't quite that James is still making YouTube, so much as that I wish he'd do stuff outside YouTube more in addition. It's worth noting he did write a book, which is impressive, and he did legitimately make a real movie, and no one can take that away from him. Sure, it may be a movie based off the angry video game nerd, but it's all the same, it's impressive. But it's been over a decade since that, and the book is cool, but still, I just wish for more. In the process of making this, I watched a really interesting video of his, covering all the cameras he's used over time. Being a filmmaker outside of YouTube myself, and a film nerd in general, I really enjoyed this little video. But there's one segment that really stuck with me. It's where James is covering his newest camera. Now, keep in mind this video was 5 years ago, so who knows if this is still current, but he mentions this.
But I am planning to do this for my next movie. It's a little bit more complicated to use than the AF100, so it's not really, it has some setbacks. Thinking ahead to the future, I think this is going to be, this is my next thing for now, until the next thing comes along. It always does.
See that right there? That's probably what spawned this entire revisiting of James in my head. This brief admittance that he not only still wants to make another movie, but expects to. And you know what? I really hope that's the case. Because despite how negative I've probably sounded, I really do respect James and wish him the best, and genuinely do still look up to him in a way, as I think all YouTubers who create content in any sort of fashion similar to James should. Overall, well, I have my disappointments. I just can't quite pull myself away. I still have hope to see more from James in the future, and in the meantime, I suppose the sporadic uploads I actually do care for, and of course Monster Madness, is enough for me.
Yeah, how are we feeling?
Keep them! But untake that bell.
Alright, your turn.
It's my turn? Wait, but there's so many good channels to pick from. How am I supposed to choose?
Well, what's on your subscription feed?
Oh, I got a bunch of 144p re-uploads of Christmas movies, but with their music changed so it doesn't get copyright struck and removed from the site.
Parents! Please! I want to live again! I want to live again! Get me back to my wife and kids!
Well, fine. Just draw a name from the hat.
Ooh, neat hat.
I thought so. It was a tip.
Let's see, we got Pewdiepie.
Oh, Pewdiepie!
Pewdiepie! Oh, I've heard so many kids got put on the naughty list because of him.
Oh, it'll be fine.
PewDiePie. Few YouTubers are more significant or contain as much history, to the point where, to do a full review would take possibly longer than this entire special. Thankfully, these are not quite full reviews, simply taking a look at the content when I subscribed and the content now. So then, when did I subscribe to who was at the time the largest channel on YouTube? Was it during the classic Let's Play era when he rose to the top?
It's the game. Games can't hurt us. Okay, we're dead!
Or was it in the COVID resurgence of Minecraft? Or even the current era?
I think Shinjuku was like so cool. Now I'm here and I'm just like, get me out of it.
No. No, it was none of those. It was the edgy era.
Yeah! It's rewind time.
Yes, the edgy era, or more so, the tail end of the edgy era, what I would call the losing the throne era. This is when PewDiePie was actively losing his first place position to T-Series, a name I've not uttered in a truly long time. You see, I didn't really care to watch during the Let's Play era, as Let's Plays have just never really been my cup of tea in the way they are for other people. And the first time I really took note of PewDiePie, beyond just knowing him as the most popular YouTuber, was during his switch to commentary in the edgy era. Now, I don't wish to get into the controversies surrounding him. They occurred before I even started watching him, and while I completely understand if some of his jokes or actions crossed a line for you and turned you away from him, for me it wasn't really of note. I don't think he's a bad person. Flawed, yes, but so is everyone to an extent. He seems much more mature now than back then, and even by the time I started watching, him and his content seemed to have moved on. I will also acknowledge the irony that at the same time I couldn't quite get into Jacksfilms and his famous Yai series, I was actively watching PewDiePie and his parody, or basically just complete knockoff, Luai. But what can I say, that's just how the dice roll sometimes, and honestly, speaking of this series, I think it helps show the point of why I started watching in the first place. I think the magic behind PewDiePie and the juice that propelled him to #1, despite not honestly doing all that much different compared to his peers, it's just his natural energy.
Percent of the time they arrive and I send them back because they just don't fit my hand. And so with this, we're gonna hear Felix in this video. I apologize about that.
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if there's a single more energetic person on the planet. See, I didn't really care for him or his energy during his big Let's Play rise. Like, yeah, it's funny to see a grown man scream, sure, but it just gets stale for me. But when he entered his edgy era, started making more commentary style videos, a genre I'm much more engaged by, I took an interest. Was he the most informed commentary YouTuber? No, definitely not. Did he put the most effort? Assuredly no. Was he even the funniest? It's debatable, but probably not. But he was the YouTuber with the best energy. Screaming, quipping, always engaging. Sure, a lot of it's in the editing, and shout out to the editors, but also Pewds, or rather Felix, has always just known how to engage an audience. Going back to these old videos for this, I'm still engaged. Sure, I may not want to watch this for an entire afternoon anymore, or if you're getting a headache bigger than India, but honestly, I get it. I get why this man was once the most subscribed channel, and for the record, on the Let's Play side, while they may not normally be my MO, I will defend his Blade and Sword Sorter videos as some of the funniest gaming videos to ever be uploaded.
Okay, watch this.
But beyond energy, he truly knows how to cultivate and engage a community. He was able to milk this T-Series debacle for so long, but I never became bored of it when it was going on. For months I watched daily just to find out what was gonna happen, like the world's most Swedish soap opera. But that's all well and good. What's he up to now? So, you remember with Jacksfilms when I mentioned YouTuber retirement? And I'm comparing a lot of YouTubers to Jacksfilms. Now, admittedly, I do think there's a difference here. Well, I do think most of what Jack uploads is stuff he genuinely wants to upload and feels like making. For Pewdiepie, I know that's the case. Family vlogs, occasional commentary on something he finds interesting, even occasional Let's Plays, all these weeks apart from one another. But I think the notable difference for me here is, unlike Jacksfilms, I made it on the train in time for Felix. I watched this guy every day for a while and got a lot of genuine enjoyment out of his work. So now I do genuinely enjoy seeing him living his best life. He beat the game and is in the post-game side quests, and I love to see it. Watching his videos now is my equivalent of watching the 1990s Walton's Family Reunion. That was a reference 2 people understood, and Daniel's one of them. Now, if someone were to tell me they couldn't get into Pewdiepie now, I'd completely understand. This content is not meant for new viewers. This is legacy content at its finest. And I just can't help but eat it up. It's an easy choice.
Alright, so what are we feeling?
Definite naughty list! PewDiePie must be banned and fed to the reindeers!
Alright, I'll take that into consideration.
Oh no! Look at the time! Oh, I haven't met my quota for trespassing and loitering charges yet! I gotta run!
Oh wow, he's back already! Hello? Oh wow, a Scandinavian greeting! I haven't had one of those in ages. Reminds me of my childhood in the Alps.
Listen here, buddy. If I go one more house without as much as a candy cane for a tip, I'm gonna march up to the North Pole and punch Santa myself. I work hard all year round, and all I ask for is some decent money. And what I get is people like you.
I'm so glad you're here! This is exactly what I needed. Just when I was starting to get discouraged, here you come to give me more tips. Come on!
MatPat, or game theory. As I suppose the two are separate now, kinda. Final act reveal, this is actually the channel that inspired this whole special. Looking at this channel and realizing it had been actual years since I'd substantially watched, it inspired me to take a look at all the channels in my subscription feed. So then, this is it, the real final battle. What do I think about MatPat? Well, this really is the hardest channel yet. Honestly, I truly don't know what to do here. Even writing the script for this video, I don't know.
Well, what do you think? I don't think he'd tip me either. Unsubscribe.
You see, this channel is special to me. I've been watching for a long time, longer than I've even had this account. And I'm not alone. Everyone's seen a MatPat video. Everyone knows his name, knows his very excitable inflection, the catchphrase, all of it. Pinpointing when I exactly started watching is difficult, though I think I might have actually done it. I believe the first Game 3 episode I ever saw was this one.
You've been lied to. Just how fast is Sonic? Not as fast as you might think.
Now, admittedly, I have no proof and no way to be sure, except this. I remember, roughly a decade ago, seeing this video in my recommended, watching it all the way through, and thinking, well, that was okay. I wasn't hooked immediately, but I was intrigued. The science was interesting, even though a modern-day theory would have far more thorough research of calculating everything. MatPat was charismatic, though honestly it's surprising to see how different he is here. Far more vulgar and lewd. It truly is a video from 2012 YouTube, and honestly it does feel somewhat forced.
Or four-headed echidna peni. Sonic isn't as fast as we've been led to believe. But comic books have also had Superman starring in a porno directed by a supervillain named the Sleaze. Sonic meets up with Elise here, part-time princess, full-time furry, who's probably the one responsible for this fanfic pic of the blue blur. And this one. And this. Anyway, But hey, that's just a theory.
Like he hadn't quite found his oratory footing yet, and was somewhat copying what other people on the site did at the time. Though that's just a theory. A game theory! But this video did inspire me to watch more, and the more I watched, the more something did feel special. Whether it be MatPat finding his charm or me just warming up to him, these videos worked on me. I watched them constantly, often waiting until multiple had been released to binge watch them, and I really enjoyed it. But then, over time, my interest faded. MatPat started focusing the channel more and more on games I just wasn't as interested in. Not that there was anything wrong with these videos or these games, they just weren't what I was interested in. Clearly I was in the minority opinion. It is honestly quite odd to be a game theory fan though I've never really watched a FNAF or even Undertale video, aside from maybe when they first began. These games were just never my interest, and well, that's not to say the videos I was interested in stopped, they certainly didn't. They did sort of become drowned out. MatPat knows what works, I'll give him that. Though, unfortunately, these videos didn't really work for me. And so now, the channel is sat, barely watched for years upon years. Yes, I've seen the occasional video in my recommended, but actively watching the channel has gone by the wayside for me. But fine, how then is the current state of the channel? Well, I'll put it this way, MatPat sounds a lot more British.
I'm sure you're probably wondering why MatPat suddenly sounds British, so let me introduce myself. I'm Tom. I'm from England. I'm allergic to apples. I want to be Dorko at axe throwing. Oh! Oh! And this is my very first episode as the host of Game Theory.
Yes, that's right. MatPat stepped down almost a year ago. While he's still involved creatively, he's no longer the host of Game Theory, or any of the theory shows for that matter. This was a pretty big deal when it happened, and I have to congratulate him. As far as YouTuber exits go, this is one of the best. He had a great explanation video, a great countdown series, and a fantastic final video. Great stuff. But how then is the new host, Tom Robinson? Well, these videos are strikingly similar. I suppose it shouldn't really be a surprise. Game Theory's been a show with an entire team behind it for years upon years, and just because MatPat himself was stepping away from narration didn't mean the writers, himself included, who've been working on these projects for years were actually stepping down. MatPat actually points this out in his goodbye video when he shows just how many other people were not just credited in the videos, but were actually the predominant researchers and writers. One name resting boldly in these is Tim Robinson. And so sure enough, the British voice seems very similar. Sure, a lot of the dad-type jokes MatPat was famous for are gone, though the host does have his own cheesy jokes to replace it with. Additionally, the iconic over-inflection, which makes it sound like the Game Theory host is on his 5th line that day, continues. I suppose it could be argued it's all a little too similar, though I'd mostly chalk that up to the host still establishing his personality, and honestly, I genuinely enjoy his hosting style. I don't know, maybe it's the British accent, or maybe I'm just happy to view this as a sort of new starting point for the channel. Either way, I like him. Though, where one new issue is solved, the old issue is unfortunately still here for me. I don't care about most of these videos. Let me explain it this way, in a little homage at that. You see, in the past 2 years, which accounts for roughly 1 year from both of the hosts, there have been 105 uploads from Game Theory. Out of these, my vague interest in any of them only numbers about 24 videos. That leaves me only having an interest in 22.86% of the videos uploaded here, or generously rounding up, about 1 in 4. Keep in mind, these are videos I'm vaguely interested in, and the count of which of these I would actually click on my subscription feed is probably half of that. But either way, 1 in 4 videos at least being appreciated in my subscription box isn't actually that bad. Considering the channel uploads roughly once a week, that leaves me being happy to see at least 1 video a month from them in my subscription box. Though, on the other hand, while from a channel like Cinemmassacre, I might be happy to see an interesting video once a month, or even once every couple months, that's partially because they just don't upload all that much. Remember, the goal of all this is to clean my subscription feed so I can actually use it again. So a channel uploading more often needs to, in parallel, be uploading content I like more often. If a channel only uploads once in a blue moon, it's easy for me to keep them around, as at the end of the day, how much is that one video going to really clutter? But when you upload as frequently as Game Theory, I really start to demand videos I really like. So then, the answer should be simple. Unsubscribe and call it a day. Well, I may only be interested in a quarter of their content and probably watch less than half of that. The content I do watch, I do really enjoy. I particularly enjoy their once-in-a-blue moon videos pertaining to YouTube or content creation. MatPat and the channels he's created have always been legendary for cracking the YouTube algorithm and always staying with whatever the current YouTube curve is. So when they talk about YouTube, I listen. Though also, when the channel uploads videos on games I do have an interest in, I very much enjoy them. It's just unfortunate that for every "could a Pokemon beat LeBron James" video, there's 3 or more FNAF videos to balance it all out. And altogether, that really brings me back to questioning the reason for all this in the first place. There's nothing malicious about my unsubscribing from any of these channels, but why do I feel so guilty then?
Oh, I just don't know what the right thing to do is. You gotta be honest with yourself, Nathan. Are you ever gonna watch Game Theory with MatPat gone? Well, no, probably not. Well, then you have your answer. Nathan, stop! You can't listen to him. Can it, Tinselwad? You've been subscribed to this channel for a decade. You can't just unsubscribe now. Think of all the legacy that will be lost. Oh, I just don't know.
Perhaps it's because YouTubers, by nature of the content, make you grow attached, not just to the channel, but to the creators themselves. It feels personal, and how could I not feel a little bad unsubscribing from a channel I've been subscribed to for a decade? Especially when every video from every YouTuber makes sure to remind you to subscribe. But when my goal is to clear my subscription feed, the channels have to go. But how could I not feel guilty? That review took so long, I feel like I aged a year.
Well, what do you think? Oh no! That last channel must have really scared him off. Oh, how am I gonna do this now? There's so many channels and I just can't decide on all of them. Of course! Oh, as long as I still have you, Broken Coffee Machine, I think we'll get through this. Oh no, not you too! Now I really am all alone this Christmas. Can't even form an unhealthy parasocial relationship with my favorite YouTubers, because my feed's still too backed up. Maybe this was all a mistake, trying to take on Santa's job. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. Oh, who could that be?
Dear Nathan, I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate you taking a load off my back this year, getting your own presents. Also, in case this letter is conveniently delivered when you're at the emotional climax of the story, I want to give you some motivation. No one is perfect, even those on the nice list, and no one can be entirely fair either, Nathan. Sometimes you have to make a quick decision. In your case, whether a channel is naughty or nice. Heck, I decide my own naughty or nice list at random. I just pick every other name I see. Last year, I accidentally put the entirety of Scandinavia on the naughty list. No wonder they came up with that greeting. Those Alp dwellers never knew what hit them. Do your best, Nathan. I know you can do it. P.S. Stop hitting on my wife. P.S.S. Please tell your button-down wearing friend that the North Pole lost its church tax exemption in 1984. Please also inform him that we no longer burn snowmen at the stake. Sincerely yours, Santa C. I know what I need to do. Maybe it really is time to take it all back to the start. Maybe it's time to recognize that YouTube's a two-way highway. YouTubers can only survive if viewers are there to watch them. And this entire time I've been coming at all of this from the viewpoint of a viewer. I think it's time to review the oldest channel in my subscription feed. The channel I've been subscribed to since I first made this account. Myself. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Cudgel here. And today, I'm taking a look at my own channel. Well, there's a couple of logistical problems for this. For one, you can't unsubscribe from yourself. Or perhaps rather, you can't subscribe in the first place. YouTube just doesn't allow it. Trust me, if I could get this guy out of here, I would. Though, still, for the sake of taking a look at why I'm doing this in the first place, it's only right I analyze my own channel. So, fine. I suppose the point at which I subscribed was my first public video.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Well, one thing for sure stayed the same. Promises of daily uploads I cannot keep. Honestly, I'm still kind of proud of this video, oddly enough. I remember showing this to the other kids in my middle school and them finding it hilarious. It's like I became a little celebrity overnight because I made a real YouTube video. And even though it's extremely cringeworthy now, I just can't ever have the heart to take it down. It's just kind of iconic to me at this point. This was my first video showing my face and the real start of this channel. And honestly, I'm still somewhat proud of some of the humor. Yeah, hearing a 14-year-old Nathan make the same squirt jokes over and over for 2 minutes isn't exactly high-quality humor, but I do think this little 14-year-old who couldn't make it onto the basketball team if he tried, honestly did a pretty good job replicating the YouTubers of the time. I notice a lot of the style of the YouTubers I've covered in this video. The high energy of Pewdiepie, the attempts at skits from AVGN, even some of the corniness of the jokes can be accredited to MatPat. This stupid 2-minute video really does tell a little story about the creator behind it. That circles back to today. So then, how's Nathan Cudgel doing today? Well, I'm actually quite happy right now. I've amassed a little over 1,500 subscribers, and I've actually made a number of projects I'm actually quite proud of. And lately the channel has seemed to be on the upswing views-wise. Things are looking good. And while I'm not sure I'd go so far as to call my channel good yet, I see potential at least in my projects, and I still feel like I'm getting better with each upload. Honestly, the hardest part right now is just finding the time to work on it all. As projects like this one get bigger and bigger, it gets harder and harder to push these videos out in a reasonable time frame. It especially doesn't help that I don't quite have the unlimited free time of a 14-year-old Nathan anymore. I'm in college now, and while I certainly would never abandon this project, especially not now, it can be frustrating though, when I know I'm capable of so much more, if only I could find the time. But regardless, 7-month breaks aside, I'm proud of this channel, and I think a lot of content on here is good, or at least shows potential to be good. I know I'm getting better, I can see it, and I can feel it, but what if the person watching this didn't? Could I blame someone if they unsubscribed? I mean, if they don't get enjoyment from my videos anymore, if this isn't what they wanted, how could I say they'd be unjustified to just unsubscribe? And I'm saying that as someone who needs subscribers far more than any of the channels I mentioned prior. I don't quite have subs to spare. I sometimes think about how easy it'd be to go all the way back to rock bottom. Though, I think what motivates me is realizing that that's not so scary. I enjoyed making videos as a 14-year-old in my bedroom, and I enjoy it now. Ultimately, a large part of this whole thing is the fulfillment of doing it all. The journey, not the end goal and all. And honestly, if I went back to 0 subscribers tomorrow, I think I'd be fine. Yes, it's not the goal, but I've been patient this long. I can keep going. I think that all is worth remembering as I look at the channels I'm subscribed to. Perhaps I really am giving too much thought to all of this. At the end of the day, losing 1 subscriber isn't really going to affect any of these people. And at the end of the day, clicking that button goes both ways. None of this is set in stone, and it's always worth taking a look back to see if a channel's changed. Unsubscribe if it's not what you want, or come back in full force if it calls to you again. YouTube is a fluid platform, and that's a good thing. It's what allows people to rise from the bottom, and it's what allows for all sorts of different kinds of content that appeals to all sorts of people. So, with that, I think I know what I need to do.
Wow. It's done. It's really all done. Hey, I just got your message! What do you mean I've been excommunicated?
You're here! Come on, let's sing!
And now, what you've all been waiting for.
Here's the deal.
Today, we're checking out Apple's new AI.
Don't worry, I'm not looking.
Holy shit! It's Spider-Man!
Who could that be? Wow, you made it!
Look, if I have to come back here for my tip one more time...
I'm so glad you could make it!
A $23 tip!
Come on, let's sing!
Christmas, Christmas, Christmas,
Rewind time.
Christmas, 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 Christmas.
Okay, we're dead!
She thinks Shizuka was like so cool. Now I'm here and I'm just like, get me out of here.
You've been lied to. Just how fast is Sonic? Not as fast as you might think. Or four-headed echidna peni. Sonic isn't as fast as we've been led to believe. But hey, that's just a theory.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Where's everyone going?
Oh, oh!
Oh man, what a relief! Oh, you have no idea how nice it is to finally meet a fellow Santa Claus, or you have no idea how many houses I had to go through to find yours. I mean, can you believe it? Fellow group, I don't know why. You were Santa Claus.
I know. I was like, no way, he knows all this without reading it. What? I don't even know these lines. Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up.
What are you doing? Home Alone 2. Specifically 2, by the way. Oh, and the joke is also, it's gonna be a double layer joke. One, neither of those movies have anything to do with Santa Claus. Two, I'm gonna put a clip from Home Alone 1 instead. Okay, I'm ready. Jingle bell, jingle bell. I love jingle bells. Just start flossing. I'm not doing that. That footage is gonna be very, very deadly. I'm not doing that. I think that shot's good as it is. And if it's not, that's for future Nathan. Okay, I got it. I'm giving you such a hard speech. At least you don't have the pizza guy speech about DiGiorno. That one's gonna be even worse. Good luck. That's my message from him directly. Good luck. Listen here, buddy. Listen here, buddy. When you say one take, you meant it. Okay, I have bad news. Yes? You're gonna have to give that whole speech while walking through the door. Oh! And so we're gonna... Now, I looked at the camera,
Also, okay, I got caught on camera. Awesome. Was it not recording?
Let's find out. I don't think it was recording.
Uh-oh.
Alright, do it again. Of course I know him. Santa Claus is me. Santa Claus is me. Of course I do. All the famous Christmas movies.
Pizza!
Rudolph! Rudolph, you're tugging on the reins!